The 2018 Hyundai Sonata represents a course correction of the kind that only wasn't needed with the previous generation simulation, besides a few added features here and there. That auto genuinely didn't change much during the course of its lifetime, and frankly, it didn't need to. When something runs, don't bolt it up. It arrived at a time when Honda and Toyota were pretty much phoning it in, and boasted a revolutionary layout that quite literally changed the mode midsize class sedans look to this day. Toyota designer Ian Cartabiano told him that Sonata was one of the few automobiles over the years that established his fellow decorators wake up a bit and realize video games was changing. Then, after staging a revolution, Hyundai played it safe. The Sonata, introduced 3 years ago, was conservative to the point of anonymity outside, while not really moving the needle on private vehicles' dynamics front. If there was one clear area where that revolutionary Sonata fell short, and indeed virtually every Hyundai, it was in the sophistication and poise it demonstrated out on the road. Well, after the cool reception to the simulation redesign, Hyundai got a wake-up call of its own. This 2018 Hyundai Sonata gets a rather significant facelift, adopting such curvy trapezoidal grille found on more recently introduced simulates, and ditching its conservative anonymity for a more organic overall impression, certainly in keeping with its fluidic sculpture predecessor. The back was likewise redone with more tapered, dare I say aggressive taillights, and the license plate relocated to the bumper. Is the end make a great-looking auto? Shoulder shrug, but it's sure better than before. However, I knew the 2018 Sonata looked different. I was quite frankly not expecting it to drive different, because when revising automobiles long enough, you start to know what a specific brand's automobiles feel like behind the wheel. There'll be subtle changes over the years, but the language remains the same. Well, the Sonata has been hitting the Rosetta Stone. The change is immediately apparent. The on-center steering feel is crisp. The turn-in more immediate and endeavor is consistent. It only seems right now, whereas before growing the Sonata was one of non-indifference. It's good now, before it was good enough. According to Hyundai, this was accomplished by increasing the steering system's torsion bar room by 12% while introducing new steering calibration that focused on responsiveness and on-center feeling. The suspension was likewise updated with thicker trailing limbs and new bushings in the rear that better respond to wheel gestures, and indeed they do. There is a poise to this Sonata that was previously missing in Hyundai's. It stays planted and doesn't get out of sorts over large-scale humps. Again, it seems right now. Is the whole thing what would be described as sporty? Well, no, but it doesn't need to be, despite the car in question literally being the Hyundai Sonata Sport. In reality, there wasn't steering or suspension differences between the Sport and other trimming degrees when equipped with the 2.4-liter engine. That says something about how good the revised Sonata is. You don't have to get the sporty version. Instead, the Sport gets a slightly different grille, back sill expansions, dual tailpipes and a ubiquitously silly rear diffuser on the outside, and a flat-bottomed steering wheel, special upholstery and more aggressively bolster seats on the inside. So, it gazes a bit cooler and constructs your feeling a little more in tune with the car. Fair enough. The remainder of the compartment is basically unchanged, which signifies it maintains its user-friendly restraints, somewhat stuffy Germanic appearance and unremarkable substances. Space is normally mid-size sedan generous. After procuring 2017 to be a year of its towns, it's nice to see that 2018 is starting up in a similar vein. I was not expecting to appreciate the 2018 Sonata as much as I did. For Hyundai at least, the Sonata is once again revolutionary. Now, is it as good or better than a Mazda 6, Toyota Camry, say, or the new Honda Accord?